So, picture this. You're sprinting through this massive, noisy terminal.
Right.
Your flight boards in like 20 minutes, and the announcements are just echoing everywhere.
The worst.
Yeah. And you suddenly realize you need to ask a crucial question, but your brain just totally blanks on the English vocabulary, and panic sets in. So today's deep dive is basically your shortcut out of that panic. We'll
Mm.
give you quick native level phrasing upgrades to get you from check-in to your final destination smoothly.
Yeah, we've all experienced that traveler's brain freeze. It's really about having the right vocabulary ready to go when you actually need it.
Exactly. So the journey obviously starts at the check-in desk, which, let's be honest, always feels a bit like a medical triage center.
Right. They're stressed. You've got these heavy bags.
Yeah, and you just want to get through. Like when I first started traveling, if I wanted a specific seat, I'd just point at the airplane map and say something like, I want a seat near the walking area.
Oh, wow. I mean, walking area definitely gets the message
But
across.
it's pretty basic, right?
Right. Instantly marks you as a beginner. So to sound more natural, you really want to ask, could I get an aisle seat, please?
Okay, aisle seat.
Yeah, or if you prefer leaning against the wall, ask for a window seat. But notice the start of that sentence, like, could I get, it totally softens the demand.
That sounds much more polite than just, I want.
Exactly.
Okay, so could I get an aisle seat? That feels a lot less demanding. Um, Now, regarding luggage, my biggest fear is always bringing a bag that's just too big for the cabin. So instead of just holding it up with this panicked look, how do I ask if my carry-on bag is okay?
The pro move there is to ask, does my carry-on fit the size limit, or do I need to check it in?
Okay, so you use the word carry-on.
Right. By saying carry-on, you specify the smaller bag you want to keep with you. And saying check it in shows you understand you might have to hand it over. It subtly shows respect for their baggage allowance rules.
Which they definitely appreciate. So, okay, handing over the luggage is a huge relief, but then the stress just spikes again right after because you're suddenly managing liquid limits for your shampoo,
Oh, yeah.
tossing your shoes into a security bin, rushing to the next line, and then you face airport customs.
Which always feels like an interrogation.
It really does. Like
Yeah.
when they ask why I'm visiting, I usually just kind of freeze and say, I am traveling for fun. Which, I don't know, it feels a bit childish, maybe.
Well, it's not wrong, but yeah, it sounds a little too casual for a strict border crossing.
Right.
You want to match their professional tone. So instead of that, say, I'm here for leisure.
Okay. Leisure.
Yeah. Or if you're working, say, I'm here on business. Using leisure or business signals confidence. It just shows, the standard categories they look for.
Which I imagine speeds up the whole interaction. I like that. It's like putting on a verbal suit and tie. I'm here for leisure. But wait, what if I have a connecting flight? Because the absolute worst feeling in the world is wondering if your bags are going to actually meet you at your final destination.
Right. Or if they're just sitting on a tarmac somewhere.
Exactly.
That layover anxiety is so universal. So the most helpful question you can ask the customs agent or at the desk is, do I need to recheck my luggage during the layover?
Oh, recheck.
Yeah, the word recheck is like a relay race baton handoff. It asks whether you need to physically pick up the bag and hand it over again, or if the airline just does the work for you.
Okay, recheck. That saves so much confusion.
Yeah.
So let's assume the bags are handled safely. You finally make it to your gate. You're holding your boarding pass, but the screen is flashing red and nobody's moving.
Oh, no.
Yeah. My first instinct when I fear a flight delay is to just march up to the desk and ask, is the plane late?
I would highly recommend avoiding that phrasing.
Really? Why?
Right. Well, gate agents are managing hundreds of anxious people. So asking, is the plane late? It puts them immediately on the defensive because it focuses on the negative problem.
That makes sense, yeah.
A much better, more native-sounding approach is the flight running on time?
Is the flight running on time? That's good. It frames the question around the schedule itself.
Precisely. You're asking for information, not assigning blame.
Right. It feels a lot less like an accusation and just more like a simple status update.
Exactly. And hey, if you suddenly notice the crowd migrating away from your seating area, don't just ask where everyone went. Approach the desk and say, "Excuse me, has the gate for Flight 204 changed?"
Oh, so you specifically say gate change.
Right. Asking about a gate change uses their specific internal terminology, so they can just pull up the new location for you instantly.
Okay, using their terminology definitely cuts through the noise,
Yeah.
but eventually you make it onto the actual plane.
Finally.
Right,
Yeah.
but the communication challenges don't disappear because now you're dealing with shared, very cramped personal
Oh,
space.
absolutely.
So let's say I want to sleep. Turning around and announcing, "Can I move my seat back?"
Hmm.
to the person behind me just feels like I'm giving an order.
It does feel like a demand, and that causes friction. You really want to shift the psychological power dynamic to the person behind you
How do I do that?
by asking, "Do you mind if I recline my seat?"
Ah, recline.
Yeah, recline is the specific verb for moving that seat backwards. And starting with, "Do you mind if I," is just incredibly polite in English. It gives them the illusion of control.
Right, making them much more likely to agree without feeling annoyed.
Exactly.
That makes total sense. "Do you mind if I recline my seat?"
Yeah.
It gives them a crucial few seconds to fold up their tray table before I accidentally crush their laptop.
Please give them that warning. And if you're the one struggling in the aisle trying to shove a heavy bag above your head, don't just block traffic in silence.
Oh, I've definitely done that. Just sweating in the aisle.
Please don't struggle in silence. Just catch a flight attendant's eye and say, "Could you help me fit my bag into the overhead bin?"
Overhead bin, okay.
Yeah, it's a direct request, it's polite, and it names the specific storage compartment right above your head.
It is so fascinating how a few small tweaks, just using precise words and softer questions, can completely change the tone of these high-pressure interactions.
Language is essentially a tool. When you use the right tool, the entire journey just becomes smoother for everyone involved.
Definitely. Well, here's the thought to take with you on your next trip. Airport staff deal with thousands of frantic, stressed-out people every single day.
Thousands.
Yeah. So consider how using these specific, polite, native-sounding phrases might completely change the level of customer service you receive from them. When you speak their language clearly and courteously, you stop being just another problem for them to solve,
Right.
and you become a passenger. They genuinely want to help. So think about that the next time you step up to the check-in counter.